Okay. Okay, we're going to go through simplifying. So we have our question here, and it shows negative 12 times r to the power of 7, s to the power of 2, t to the power of, we'll talk about what that's the power of, and all of that is multiplied by negative 3 times r to the negative 5 and t to the negative 2. So what's going to be key here is we can only really multiply or simplify terms that are alike. So I'm actually going to go through this process and highlight what are our like terms. So do you know what a coefficient is? Coefficients are the numbers that are in front of variables. So r, s, t, those are our variables, r, t, and the number that's attached to it, these are our coefficients. So we're going to highlight our coefficients. Let's make that a little bigger. There you go. So negative 12 and negative 3, those are coefficients. Because it's two sets of brackets beside each other, what this operation means is to multiply. So we're actually going to multiply these two coefficients by each other. So that'll be our very first step to the very next line, okay? So we're going to say this is equal to negative 12 times negative 3. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 times 12 is 36. So we're going to say, we'll actually do it in yellow since I highlighted in yellow. That number is technically positive 36, okay? The next thing we're going to deal with is our second variable. So our second variable is the r. There's an r in both of these. When you multiply variables together, you actually just are going to add their two powers. So this is the power of 7, and this is the power of negative 5. So we're actually going to add these two together. So I'm going to make a little note here that we take this and we take this, and because this is multiplication, we're going to add powers, okay? So actually, before we do that, I'll write them all out in one line again. So we'll say we've multiplied the coefficients. So now we have, we'll just actually match them together. So we'll put the r's beside each other. So we have r 7 times r negative 5. And now, if you notice, I'm reordering. I'm taking the numbers from one bracket and another bracket, and I'm putting everything beside each other. In multiplication, there's a property called associative property, and that allows you to multiply in any order. So the way we can prove this is, let's try, what is 3 times 5? Well, that's 15. What's 5 times 3? Well, that's also 15. So what that's telling us is it doesn't matter what order we multiply things in, they get the same. So we're going to reorder everything, put them together, and then go through our multiplication. So we put our r's beside each other. The next things we're going to work on are our s values. So there's only one s value, so that's just going to go next. We'll say S2. And then the last thing that we're going to work with are our values of t. We'll put our t's together here. So, whoopsie, let's undo that. Our t is to the power of nothing, and our other t is negative 2. We don't need our brackets anymore. We've essentially dropped them all off. We're just going to start collecting our like terms, like we said. So our r's are going to go together. Our s's, which there's only one, are going to go together. And our t's are going to be multiplied by each other also. We've already done the coefficient, so we'll bring that down again. 36, that's not going to change. Like I said, our r values, we're just going to add the exponents. So 7 plus negative 5 is 2. So we have r to the power of 2. Nice. There's nothing to do with s, so s stays to the power of 2. And t, if there's no variable stated, do you know what variable is assumed to be there? Or not variable, sorry, power. Yes, 1. So it should actually just be 1. So now we have 1 plus negative 2. Do you know what that's going to give us? 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. Okay, so this is technically our simplified version. That's it. We've put all our terms together and we've simplified something.